Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another dirt bike. It's one of my favorites. It is a KTM 450 EXC. Now, this probably doesn't just apply to my fellow Australians. I think it applies all around the world, but these things are incredibly popular for off-road riding. Any enduro, bush, trail, track, they're just a really well-rounded bike. I'm not going to be going off-road today because I'm sure there are a million other people that have put videos on them riding on the interwebs, and to be honest, you probably have a KTM 450 or know somebody that does, that you can ride and experience it yourself. Instead, today I want to see what it's like on-road, or what its performance is like on-road, I should say. Because they are pretty bloody quick. Man, I like these 4-strokes. They're so smooth. This is a 2012 450 EXC. I think from memory this was this year model. They had a revised balance shaft to help with vibrations, and I've got to say it is so smooth on the road, particularly just plodding around town. I have to admit, I am a 2-stroke fanboy. I do love a 300 2-stroke, and a 250 2-stroke, and a 125, and a 500. Okay, I like 2-strokes, yes, but particularly here in Queensland, there's so many trails where you need to transfer on road. And I mean, it's even handy having a bike sometimes for if you head into the shops or whatever the case may be. So I want to see how this thing fares. We're about to go on the highway now. Yeah, we'll see what it's like. It's actually relatively windy today, so hopefully it's not too bad. We've got full knobby tyres on. They're just Dunlop MX-52s, I believe. So full knobbies, and there we go. Okay, we have got a bit of a front wheel hop, but that's kind of expected. This bike is purely set up for off-road riding. But I mean, we've just got a tiny bit of throttle, sitting at 100 k's an hour, keeping up with traffic, no dramas. It's pretty smooth, it's pretty comfortable. Nothing's vibrating to pieces. And I mean, if you spent 5-10 minutes balancing that front wheel, you'd be able to get that hop a hell of a lot better, that's for sure. Now, one of the reasons I like these bikes so much, it might sound funny for some of you guys, but maybe some of you younger viewers, but there actually once was a time when it wasn't cool to have a KTM. Back in like early 2000s, I mean, yeah, no one wanted a bloody pumpkin. Around the rest of the world, like that, I think that's when maybe late 90s, early 2000s, they started to work on their like the World Enduro Championships, and they started getting a bit of a name for themselves over there. But they were still kind of the ugly duckling here in Australia. I think it was around 08, 09. It was the original Desert King, the OG Ben Grabham. He made the switch from the Honda to, what's one of these, a KTM 450 for Fink. And you know, Honda had been dominating the Fink Desert Race every year, but yeah, that year that sort of started a bit of a trend for KTM. Okay, I'll just stop here, get the V-Box out. Now I'm going to be running nothing but the V-Box. We want to do it accurately. It would be much simpler just to use the GoPro GPS, but that's not how the professionals do it. If you want to know how accurate these V-Boxes are, or a bit more info in them, I'll put a link in the description, but yeah, I mean, this is how they, you need one of these to do roadworthies here in Australia. I'm also running this Suomi adventure bike helmet, even though I'm on a dirt bike, probably look like a dick, but it's just so much better for road riding, especially with the visor. I've got the mic in there and hope that you guys can actually hear something and hear the bike a little bit. But yeah, man, it's so comfortable compared to an open face, you know, open face with goggles, particularly with this bloody visor. You put the visor down and it just, yeah, you can go to sleep. Not that I'd recommend that. pretty good. I mean, I've got to compare it to the YZ450F, which they are a bit of a monster. I wasn't sure how this would go, but that felt good. I've done a couple of launches and I'm starting in second gear just to, well, just to save that gear change really. It's just, yeah, I've got to be very gentle with the takeoff. I think that's going to be a good one. I'm starting in second gear just to save that first gear change, and it just has enough power, like it doesn't bog down. If I launch with any amount of revs at all, it just wheel stands. I'm only 70, 73, 74, 75, something like that. The bike weighs about 100, and I think officially these had 51 horsepower. So I mean, yeah, okay, you compare that to today's super bikes, it doesn't sound like much, but that's one hell of a power to weight ratio. Okay, I'm really interested to see what that's done. And it just does it easy. Like, it's not getting hot. Admittedly, it was a YZ450F we tested, not a WR. But man, this thing feels a world apart. It's so much smoother, so much quieter. So in conclusion, guys, if you need a bike that you also want to use on the road a bit, you're transferring a lot of rails, or you're not just into the hardcore extreme enduro stuff, dragging your bike up hills, and you want to cover a few more kilometers, it is hard to look past this generation of KTM 450, especially what they're worth nowadays. I do highly recommend them. Even though I'm a two-stroke guy, for this type of stuff, they're hard to beat. And actually, with that being said, they're not as bad as everyone makes out them to be when the going does get tough. For the, you know, if you are into a bit of the hard enduro stuff, it's not like these are useless. Everyone, you know, so, oh, they overheat and all that sort of stuff, but they're really not that bad.